I'm going to finally give you a look with the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey. I got it last week and I promised to do a look or two maybe, but just didn't have a chance or the time to. So thought I would do it today. I am going to clip all this hair back. I did this yesterday. Oh. I like to give it a few days to kind of like fall. Anyway, so how are you? I'm taking the Pat McGrath Intensivized Artistry wand, so I'm going to use that as my primer. Today is an admin day for me. So far I have exercised, got my coffee, did some billing and emails and such, and after this, once I get this up, I need to work on some recommendation letters. I remember when I was younger and I was like, oh, I can't wait until people ask me to write them some reference letters. And now I'm like, ugh, stop asking me. I don't really mind, but I tend to be like long-winded in my letters. And one of the reasons is because, so like I need to write some letters for people who are going on their clinical internship or applying for their clinical internship. And for about 10 years, I was on the committee that would choose the 4 interns at our counseling center. So I was reading a lot of rec letters because we had to read like all of them. So I kind of know what people are looking for in the letter. So I try to be really explicit about it. And one of my previous supervisees is applying to a lot of places, and I typically tell people, like, feel free to bug me until I get it done, because it can, like, not on purpose, kind of slip my mind. And I put it on my calendar today, like, all day, work on rec letters, and I'm like, what? Anyway, So I want to kind of use the shades that are a bit like newer to Pat McGrath. So maybe like this blue here, or these greens. This one's kind of green. This one's like a seafoam green. So I'm going to take this shade here called Solar Flare. I'm taking that on a Sonia G flat definer. Maybe I'll do 2 looks. So the other day, I just put like Rosé's food and all that good stuff. I order her stuff from Chewy. I just put it on like, what is that, like auto supply, whatever it is. And so the other day I got a delivery and it was like her food and stuff. Treats, litter box stuff, and I was like, wow, this box is so big. And I was thinking, oh, but you know what, I got like quite a few things, but it was bigger than usual. And you know, sometimes companies just use huge boxes for things that I don't quite understand why. But I was like, okay, whatevs, you know, let me get all of her stuff together, put things away. I feed her dry and wet food. And there was once where I had gotten some dry food, like in a bag, and I like left it downstairs. I went upstairs to like take a shower, blah, blah, blah. I come back down, ma'am has chewed through the bag and was just sitting there munching. So I can't leave anything out. So I was like, let me put all of this up before little Miss Ma'am gets some idea and starts like eating her way through this food. I open the box. It is the biggest bag of food I've ever seen. We used to have dogs when I was younger, and you know those big bags of dog food? Like, that's what we would buy because we had like big dogs, and we would go through that. They would go through the food, you know, fairly quickly. But Rose is a little cat, and I accidentally bought a 16-pound bag of food. If I remember, I'm gonna put a picture because I was like, oh, oops. I didn't even realize, like, my mom was like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, girl, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I thought. I know I didn't think it was going to be a 16-pound bag. I think what happened was I got an alert that the bag that I typically would buy was out, like the flavor or something. So I was like, okay, let me just switch it to this. So I wasn't even paying attention. Child, I was going to try to make it work. But I ended up just contacting the place that I adopted Rose from, and I was like, I have a 16-pound bag of food. Like, it's Purina. It's like good. I haven't opened it, but do you have any idea what I can do? Like, can I donate this somewhere? So they were like, oh, sure, you can donate it to us. So that's what I ended up doing. And the look Rose gave me as I was lugging that big old 16-pound bag of cat food out the house, she was looking at me like, I know you not taking my stuff. But it was too big. It was just, it would have taken forever for her to go through that. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is Noir Moon. I'm taking the same brush. This is like typical Pat McGrath formula, performance. So really, it's just like if you want these shades would be the reason to get this palette. It's nothing too different from normal that I can see. So I need some advice. So the holidays are coming up. My family's on the West Coast. I'm considering going just because I haven't been able to go. I didn't go last year. Yeah, because of the panini. So I'm trying to figure out if it's safe to go this year. And the first response everybody has is, what are you going to do with Rose? I don't know. There are options, right? I'm going to take this brush here, which is the Classic Crease, and I'm going to dip into that same color. Noir Moon, I think it's called. So my options are obviously a leave her here or take her with me. Now, if I leave her here, those options break down to having someone just come over, you know, like clean out her litter box, give her some food, freshen up water and things like that. That's like one option. That would include probably asking a friend or a neighbor. And I would only ask people around me because I don't want somebody to be driving 45 minutes from DC or Virginia or something. So that's one option. The other option is to board her at either the vet we go to, because it's like a animal hospital and spa or something. So do that. Or there's another place that does the same thing close to me. The vet's only like 8 minutes away. Or do one of those like pet sitters, I think, and just have someone come in, like pay for them to come in. So those are the options for leaving her here. gonna go well. Like, Rose is so completely attached to me. She doesn't really like other people. She like just started to like my partner. So I'm like, and I feel like she wouldn't have a good time without me. I feel like she would miss me, okay? Rose. Maybe she wouldn't. I feel like she would miss me. So the other option is taking her with me, right? And y'all know that entails getting her in the carrier, getting to the plane, getting on the plane, having at least minimum like a 5-6 plane ride if it's direct, which it probably won't be. And then get in like a car, getting her in the car and getting her to either my parents' house, my sister's house, a hotel, wherever. And I just feel like that would be real hard. So I contacted the vet and I was like, hey, so I'm thinking of taking little Miss Thing with me during the holidays on a plane. And so they were like, cool, we can prescribe her some medication. Now the medication that they want to prescribe her, I've actually been on before. Ironic. And so I know that it would like put her to sleep. Not like the ultimate sleep, just like put her to sleep for the plane ride. But I'm feeling some kind of way about that. Like I'd just be drugging her. I don't know. What y'all think? Like, I need some honest opinions here. Because my family is like, you know, do it. But then they're also kind of like, you know, if it makes sense to do. I just don't know. You want to be knocked out, girl? Is that cool with you? I just don't know. I don't know what would make the most sense, honestly. Like, one thing is that, okay, I've been on this med before. It'll be fine. But she's a little cat. She's not a big old human, you know what I'm saying? So let me know your experiences. A lot of people that I've asked, they've only taken their pets in like on a road trip and not necessarily in a plane. I mean, I ended up buying a different carrier that's like the soft carrier. It's like literally the one that Delta Airlines recommends. So I have a carrier that would like fit under the seat or whatever. And then I was looking at hotels that take animals. Because also like my sister has a cat and her cat is just crazy. Like her cat is so social and will just like hop on you and all kinds of stuff. And I don't think Rose would get along with her. My sister's cat's name is Stevie. I think Stevie might be too much for Rose. And Stevie might think Rose is uppity and Rose gonna think something about Stevie. So I'm like, I probably shouldn't do that. I probably shouldn't stay with my sister. My parents don't like cats. They will love Rose though, 100% sure. So I'm like, okay, I shouldn't stay there. So it would probably be a hotel, girl. I don't know. Anyway, let me put a face on and then I will be right back with the finished look. Okay, here is the finished look. let me tell you what else I ended up putting on my face. So the eyeshadow palette, of course, and I tried to make it just a Pat McGrath base. So I used her foundation, the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation, and I have it in the shade Deep 32. I then used her concealer, and it's in the shade MD24, the Sublime Fetish Skin Perfection Concealer. I then used the under eye setting powder, and I used the one in the shade Yellow. I have the shade Yellow, and I also have the shade Brown, but I'm trying to pan at least one of them, so I'm working on the yellow one. And then I also used her blush in Paradise Venus. There's that. Those are all the Pat McGrath things I have. I do have highlighter, but I don't really feel like putting highlighter on. I ended up using this Lorac mascara, the Pro Fiber mascara. It's a little like tiny mini size, but I like it. And I also used my Marc Jacobs eyeliner for the bottom. That's it. So here is that look. This will probably be good for like going out somewhere, you know, date night, girls night, boys night, non-gender conforming night, like whatever you want to do. Let me do maybe a more like daytime look. I mean, I would wear this in the day. But yeah, maybe I'll do one more look and then I will let you go about your business. So be right back. I'm gonna take the eyeshadow off and take the lip off and then see what I can create. Okay, time for look number 2, and I am gonna continue to use Pat McGrath products. This is the eye primer wand, or artistry wand. Just putting that on. I've definitely been enjoying it, especially with it being clear. I ended up not liking the Milk Hydro Grip eye primer over time. Like initially it will be fine and then I would get creasing. So let's see, more of a like everyday kind of thing. I do so many pinky kind of looks, so I think what I'm gonna do is maybe try for a more bronze one. And so this is Bronze Eclipse. Is that correct? Yes, that's Bronze Eclipse. So that is the one I'm going to go in with. And I'm going to take this Rephr number 2 brush. Ooh. I feel like I've gotten clumsier as I've gotten older. Like, aren't you supposed to get it together? It's like I'm like a baby deer. Like, I don't know how far my arms and legs reach and stuff. So I end up knocking things over. Let's not even talk about the boobs. That'll knock stuff over in a second. Now I'm going to take this Wayne Goss number 5 from the Edit collection, and I am going to go into this shade here, and that is Sun Rose Amber. I just want to blend the shimmery metallic shade out a bit. I think that looks good. And I'm going to go into Nocturne, which is this deeper kind of plummy brown here. Taking the same brush, the Wayne Goss Edit number 5, just putting it here on the outer corner. I've consistently considered getting one of Wayne's eyeshadow palettes. I don't know, what do y'all think? Like, there is the newer one that's pretty much just like a neutral palette, and then there was another one that everyone was saying was like bridal makeup. I was like, okay, bridal for light-skinned people. I don't know. So let me know if you have used any of his eyeshadow and what you make of it. I wouldn't mind trying it out. But none of them have really like grabbed me where I'm like, oh my gosh, gotta use it. And I'm gonna clean everything up, but I actually think first I'm going to do a bit of a wing. This is the Sephora waterproof eyeliner in the shade brown. I had been wanting a brown liner. I was going to get the Fenty one, and then this one was cheaper. Alright, so I am going to touch up my concealer, put on a lip, and I will be right back. Alright, here is the second look. I didn't change my foundation. I did reapply concealer and then set it with the powder. And smudged a little of Nocturne. Oop, this shade here. Oop, this shade here. On the lower lash line. And then I added a lip. This is Stone by Dose of Colors. Dose of Colors has my favorite liquid lipstick formula. I also really like their gloss formula. So those are the two looks for today. I didn't use any of the pinky toned shades, mainly because I do pink looks kind of like all the time, so I wanted to do something a little different. I also wanted to show that you can definitely make the Pat McGrath palettes like wearable or professional. I saw on Reddit the other day people were kind of going back and forth with what looks are professional, what makeup looks, especially the eyes, and a lot of folks were saying more of the nude neutral shades are professional. Whatever that means. I do believe the term professional is like a social construct, but we won't go into all of that. And I do know that because I like am my own boss, I tend to kind of wear whatever I want to. I try not to be too super duper distracting with my eyes, but it is a way for me to express myself. But sometimes I will do like, this for me is like a simple plain look, and this is something I would probably more likely do for a presentation, just because sometimes presentations are recorded. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has seen presentations from like years ago and you're like, whoa, that was the makeup style. So I try to keep it relatively neutral. But yeah, I find it really interesting that we have a like what is professional look. Tell me what you think about that. Okay, so I think that is it for me. I am going to wash all of this off. I should work on those recommendation letters, huh? I'm gonna get them done. I don't feel like doing it right now. Anyway, so let me know what you think about traveling with a cat and your experience. Let me know what you think about the professional look. Let me know if you picked this up. I know a couple of you have. I am still waiting for the quads. And what else? Let me know if you want me to do something. I don't know. Oh, nah, I'll tell you later. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope this was helpful. And I will see you next time.